Hey everybody, it's Matt from the house, and in this video we're going to show you a few of our favorite bindings for the 22-23 season. Let's check these out. All right, first up we've got the Burton Malavita, which this is a classic binding and it's still one of our favorites every single year. So good kind of mid-flexing, all mountain, go anywhere, do anything binding. We've got a 30% glass base plate on this thing, so it's not super stiff, but still give you some good push from toe to heel. The high back, we're still doing that heel hammock piece, so it's a little bit of a rubber and it has a frame and it's kind of stretched across the back of the high back, so when you ratchet your straps down, it puts pressure on the back of your boots just to give you a little extra heel hold without having to ratchet your straps down super tight. We're doing that gel pad and the auto camp footbed, so it really adjusts to your foot and really helps reduce that ankle fatigue as you're riding throughout the day. And then we're doing that asymmetrical strap. So the asymmetrical hammock strap is pretty cool. It's a little wider on the outside, a little narrower on the inside, so you get a little bit more flex this way and a little bit more support to the outside. Or if you want it to feel the opposite, you can literally swap your right and left straps to really kind of customize how that binding is going to feel. All right, next up, the Chamonix Barrats. So Chamonix got a big upgrade in their bindings this year. Really cool. They actually, a lot of them actually have a disc that is compatible with the channel this year, which is pretty big. And then this Barrats is a pretty dope binding because we've got a super sturdy base plate. The Asym high back has basically got all the flex where you need it, but it's still super stiff when you lean back on it. We've got those 3D molded straps, so super comfortable with that little stiffer piece through the middle, so you get comfort and you get quickness from edge to edge. And then they're also doing a full footbed underneath your foot this year too, just to kind of give you a little bit more cushioning and kind of cover up that hardware for a little bit cleaner look. But definitely one of the team favorites from the Chamonix riders. And then from Bent Metal, we have the women's Stylist or the men's Axtion binding. Pretty rad bindings, all mountain, go anywhere, do anything, mid-flexing binding. Definitely got some really cool features. The high back on this thing is super flexible where you need it to be, but when you lean back on it and you need it to be stiff, it doesn't move at all, so you get really quick response onto your heel side edge. And then they also have one of the most simple 4 lean adjusters you'll ever see. It's basically this cube, and there's 4 different adjustments for 4 different angles, and you literally just spin it to the different angles depending on how you want your binding to react. If you want it to be a little bit quicker, you can crank it all the way down. If you want it to be really smooth, you can obviously crank it all the way up, or we can obviously go in between somewhere. And then on the strap side of things, we've got that dual band strap. So really comfortable molded strap against your boot, but then we've got that stiffer material that actually connects the ladder on this side and your attachment on the other side, so you don't get any stretching on this binding. So when you go ahead and lean on it, it's not gonna stretch. It's literally gonna pick the board up and it's gonna get you from your heel side edge to your toe side edge right away. And then one of the coolest features on these bindings is the magnesium fiber drive footbed. So Bent Metal actually has these specific footbeds that actually have some fiberglass in them, and depending on the footbed you have, you can actually customize your binding to make it feel a little bit quicker or a little bit softer. This one has kind of a medium flexing footbed in there, so again, something that's soft enough to ride in the park, but stiff enough to ride outside of the park. But the cool thing is you can always get different footbeds to actually customize how your binding feels. All right, and then next up from there, we have the Flux DS. Always one of their best-selling bindings, and this thing got a big overhaul this year on most of the parts, so really souped it up. So a big thing is toolless adjustment on anything. The straps, the heel loop, the high back, everything you need to adjust can be done with your fingers. They've added more options on the side here. There's now 5 points for the high back, so you can really dial in that high back angle to exactly where you need it. They're also doing the Super Ultima base plate with a full footbed, so very responsive and lots of cushioning. And then they've upgraded that waffle strap too. Very comfortable, asymmetrical design to basically give you the flexibility where you need it and the sturdiness where you need it. And then last up, one of my favorite bindings for this season, the Union Ultra. So completely new binding, lots of new technology on this thing. More notably the base plate. We actually have 2 densities of foam on the base plate that go along with the base plate itself. But the cool thing is this is basically all fused together. There's no glue. It's essentially all put together like a running shoe, like it's almost all one piece. But you still get that classic bushing style that basically gives you a nice easy feel, a more natural flex out of your board, but allows the bindings to still be super quick from edge to edge. And on top of that, they've upgraded the high back to their new S11 ASIM high back. And the really cool thing about this is they got some memory foam on it, so it actually really cushions on the back of your boot. It really forms to your back of your boot no matter what it's shaped like, and also helps smooth things out onto your heel side edge. And another big upgrade is the Forma X straps. So they've basically taken everything they know about straps and upgraded it. You've got that nice big bone out area in the middle. You still have the classic union piece that goes all the way across, so there's no stretching, so your binding is super quick. But the most notable thing is they actually have that memory foam on the inside of the straps. So no matter what boot you have, no matter what lacing system you have, that foam molds perfectly around your boot and gives you the ultimate fit. But super smooth, all mount and go anywhere, do anything binding. Probably a little bit more on the freestyle side of things, but if you're a free rider who just wants a nice, easy, smooth feel, then this binding is amazing. All right, well, thanks for checking out some of our favorite bindings from the 22-23 season. Obviously, there's way more at thehouse.com. If you got any questions about these bindings or any of the bindings that we have, definitely leave some comments down below. We're on there every single day trying to answer your questions. We want to make sure we get you into some rad gear, but most importantly, we want to make sure that it's actually going to fit you and it's going to fit your riding style. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, definitely get that bell on too so you can find out when all the new videos drop. Grab yourself a new set of bindings and get out and ride, because any day of riding is a good day of riding.